Charles Leclerc won his home Grand Prix at the sixth time of asking. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Racing. It was boring, it was drawn out, it was absolutely filled with chaos on lap one. Then the following 77 had hee-haw.
It was a minging race. Let's not pretend, let's not lie, let's not sit here and say this is why we love F1. Let's not sit here and pretend it was a classic. Let's not sit here and pretend that we didn't waste 2 hours watching this shit. This was why F1 is bad. This was all the right reasons why F1 is damn near unwatchable. And I know you got the American audience that have never really taken to F1 and they've always accused it of being boring. The American audience tend not to like non-American sports because of lack of action. Same thing with football. You know, they'll say that you can sit 90 minutes and only get like one goal. And that's been a criticism they've had for Formula One over the years, especially in the years where you really couldn't overtake, or overtaking was at least, let's say, more difficult. But I think this race sums up the American perspective of Formula One. Just, you know, a bunch of cars out on tracks, doing laps, chasing each other. Like, I mean, I know people mock NASCAR and like the oval Indy 500, and it literally is like a round track, and it's like just a fucking oval. I'm not denying that. However, positions constantly changing that because they are slipstreaming, and more often than not, like you're probably going to get like 10 positions changing every lap. In F1, sometimes you get races like this, and it was an absolute stinker, no excitement. The crash at the beginning, the red flag, effectively just eliminated the only pit stop of the race.
Yep.
And like they need to look at. I think it's wrong that they can just stick hard tires on it and go 77 laps. Like, I missed the
What about
day.
the mediums? People were making
Yeah, they were
mediums
doing that.
last.
I missed the days where you would have your tire would have combusted if that happened. I mean, they need to change it. They need to make these tires less durable. But safety, look, these guys are getting paid a shitload of money. You've got the halo in place now. It's Formula One, right? It's motor drive. You're driving at like 200 miles per hour. There's always going to be that element of, you know, risk. I'm not saying it needs to be unsafe, but there's always going to be a risk element. And you need to at least change the durability to do something. Could you imagine if every race was like this? How long would you watch F1 for? You would give up.
You would give up, but let's talk about the start of the race. Kevin Magnussen, Sergio Perez. I think it's a 50-50. I think Kevin Magnussen's getting lambasted here. Should he pull out? Potentially. But see, at the end of the day, Perez has squeezed him into the wall. Should he risk it? Probably not. But I don't think it's all Magnussen's fault. Would you agree with that?
I think there was a gap there and Perez closed it.
As for the Alpines, it was Ocon's fault. 5th-place grid penalty in Canada is what it is. Let's talk about...
Tell you what a team going nowhere. Alpine, 2 drivers going nowhere.
2 good drivers going nowhere.
Yeah, it's straight. I mean, do they deserve better seats compared to some drivers in the grid? I mean, possibly. I think you could look at some other teams and go, you know, maybe Gasly or maybe Ocon deserve that seat. But yeah, they're 2 drivers that aren't getting any younger, and you know, they're just stuck in like a really poor seat right now. So
they are. Leclerc won from Piastri, Sainz, Norris, Russell, Verstappen, Hamilton, Tsunoda, Albon, Gasly. That's your points finishers. Alonso, shite weekend. Perez, shite weekend. As for the top 10, I think the title's over. Yes, it's 31 points between Leclerc and Verstappen, but I think it does open up the space for Red Bull to actually not dominate, and I think Ferrari and McLaren will be up there all season. That's the only thing. But Max will win the title. He's too good.
Yeah, it's too good. Like, he's got a 31 point gap. I mean, it's closer than I thought it would be at this point, I'll say that.
Yeah, we've had 3 non-Red Bull winners, well, 3 non-Max Verstappen winners in Leclerc, Sainz and Norris.
Now, how much better would it be if it was 3 of the same driver winning? Because then we maybe would have a title fight on.
Yeah, but then you would be taken away from like actual different people winning. But anyway, that's where we're going to leave it. It was shit. What I was anticipating was the last 20 laps where people could pit and the people who didn't pit would be struggling big time. I thought when Verstappen caught up to Russell, it would have been good night. But it was nothing like that.
I actually thought that towards the end of this race, we might actually get overtaken in Monaco. I know it's rare to see, but I thought just with the difference in tyre life that
it
we would...
sucked though. Why did Mercedes and Red Bull put on the hards? Why not go for the softs?
Yeah.
If you can't get overtook, why not? Are you no? But I think there was like 25 laps to go. Are you trying to tell me the mediums can do 77 laps with Russell, but the softs can't do 25? Fucking ridiculous.
I'm looking at like Lando Norris, and I mean, he could have put softs on late. All right, he would have probably come out behind George Russell, but I mean, you can take a chance to possibly win the race. Big wow, you might be trading 4th place for 5th. But why not go for it?
Why not go for it? Exactly. But we'll be back for the Canadian Grand Prix, damn it. What's that all about? Eh?